Good evening, Rutgers. I'm WeatherWatcher Connor Woodcock. Here, your evening forecast for Monday, January 20th, 2025. For your conditions right now in New Brunswick, we're at a frigid temperature of 19 degrees, some clouds in the area. Our feels like temperature is at 10 degrees, and that's going to be decreasing rapidly as we get into the later evening hours, and that's going to be our main story going into tonight. Humidity at 50% and winds coming from the west-southwest, 6 miles per hour. Like I said before, our main story for tonight is some dangerous wind chill and temperatures accompanying us tomorrow morning, persisting into the afternoon. But after tomorrow, some sunny skies, and then come this weekend, come Friday and Saturday, some warmer temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s. So a little bit cold starting this week, but thankfully, as we get to the weekend, we should be warming up. For the snowfall that we had yesterday, it seems like the further north that you were, the more snow you got. So in Pompton Lake, 7 inches, Morristown, 5 inches, New Brunswick, 4 inches, and then the further south, the less snow. So in far south, Cape May, you really only got a dusting to half an inch. For your current temperatures, we see a lot of hues of purplish pink, especially in the western portions of South Jersey, just starting to get past below 20 degrees in most of the southern portions. Pretty much the same here in the north, although a bit colder. In Hackettstown, a temperature of in the single digits, 9 degrees in Hackettstown, and that's not even the feels like temperature. So it's pretty frigid out there as we enter into the later evening hours. For overnight, we're going into some frigid temperatures, low of 7 degrees here in New Brunswick. Winds coming in from the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. But like I said, those wind chills are going to be the main concern going into tomorrow morning, waking up with a temperature of 20 degrees, but that feels like temperature in the negatives, -3 degrees, pretty much for the entire state. Areas could be even lower than this, especially if you had some higher snowfall totals in this past storm. So that's why I put these two poor conditions for the first 2 blocks of your class schedule tomorrow to open up the spring semester. Not for any rain or for some snow, but just for those cold temperatures. So please bundle up if you have those first 2 classes. You should really be bundling up regardless for the rest of the day tomorrow. But we'll be warming up as just a teeny bit going into the afternoon hours. But those first 2 classes especially are going to be very frigid. And I did put that icy tag just in case there was some snow that possibly melted during this afternoon. Some wet spots will definitely be freezing over come later tonight. And that might be causing some icy conditions, especially on some walk paths going to class tomorrow morning. For the wind chill forecast tomorrow morning, like I said, negatives for pretty much the entire state. -1 degree for wind chill in Philadelphia, -2, pretty much -3 in New Brunswick, and that's pretty much across the state. And we're not really getting that warmer going into the afternoon. Wind chill of 10 degrees come noon tomorrow. And then much the same for Wednesday morning as well. Wind chill of -3 degrees in Philadelphia, -1 here in New Brunswick. So we're pretty much the next 2 mornings are going to be very frigid. So keep that in mind as you start your morning commute. But thankfully, Wednesday, the afternoon is not as cold as it will be tomorrow. And this isn't really a local thing either. If you look at the map of the U.S., we really have cold weather advisories for pretty much the entirety of the U.S. apart from the West Coast. And then these darker hues of blue are extreme cold warnings. And you can imagine if they're posting these in areas like Minnesota and Wisconsin, they're having wind chills in the low -35 degrees, I believe I saw in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So thankfully, we're not that cold. But for most of the state, we do have the cold weather advisory. Mount Pocono has that extreme cold warning, as they could expect some wind chills in at -20 degrees forecasted for wind chills in Mount Pocono. But for most of the state, we're under that cold weather advisory for those dangerously cold wind chill. So what's causing this? We have this Arctic high pressure system that's situated off in the Ohio Valley. And this is really going to make its way over to us come tomorrow afternoon. And this is really staying here until Wednesday. So that's why we're having those cold temperatures to wake up to tomorrow and going into Wednesday morning. But as I click this button here, I also want to keep your eye on the south, specifically in South Carolina and North Carolina. You see some snow moving into the northeast. It might be able to clip far south Jersey. But areas that really wouldn't expect that much significant snowfall, like New Orleans, northern Florida, are expecting snowfall amounts between 4 to 8 inches in some places, specifically, especially in New Orleans, where we can expect half a foot of snow in that area. But that high pressure system remains in place come Wednesday afternoon, so those cold temperatures are pretty much staying. We do have that alert for cold temperatures tomorrow, a high of 20 degrees, but that doesn't factor in the wind chill. Low of 3 degrees come Tuesday night, I mean. Wednesday, we have a high of 19 degrees, sunny skies, a low of 5 degrees. On Thursday, mostly sunny skies, warming up just a little bit, 28 degrees with a low of 13 degrees. And for the rest of the week, we'll be warming up as we get into the weekend, like I promised. We're at the freezing mark for a high on Friday with the sunny skies. Come Saturday, a high of 34. Sunday, the clouds return, but thankfully a high of 40 degrees on Sunday, and then a high of 38 to start the work week next week on Monday. So feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Have a great start to the semester, Rutgers. I'm WeatherWatcher Connor Woodcock.